Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. It's May 28th, 2017, about 1:36 p.m. And I wanted to make a video, like I promised, building my watch list for Tuesday. Because after today, I don't think I'm gonna be active for till at least till next week because I just got some things going on at work that I need to kind of my business and just a lot of things going on. So I gotta kind of stay focused. Maybe I will. I'm an addict. I can't stay awake, but I'm gonna try to be disciplined and do the things I gotta do so I can have more time to do this stuff. So just a couple of caveats, just things that I want to review. So this is the Bullish Bears website, all right. And the way I found these guys is, I was initially trying to learn how to trade options, and this guy here, Tim Davis, my boy, was in the same group that I was in, and the person that I'm not gonna mention the name that I kind of followed, I paid like $200 to learn these, DVDs. So we're on this e-learning course, and the course is not so bad, but the guru, whatever, he wasn't very active, didn't answer any questions. I just thought he, sucked. So, when Tim and I was there, Tim left the group, and Tim started this group here, Bullish Bears, with Lucian and Dan, and I found him through Facebook, and I said, Tim, where you at? And he's like, this is what I'm doing, and I came and joined these guys here. Now, what's great about this group, Bullish Bears, is that it's a collaborative group of different traders. I mean, when I joined the group, it was maybe 20, 30 people, and now we're 8,000 people, which is pretty crazy. I'm a momentum trade, I day trade, but there's people in the group who do options. There's other people in the group who just swing trade. There's people in the group that do dividends trading. All types of trading, and it's a collective, collaborative group. People here just post information. Look, there's a guy, David Gordon. He just found the group. He watched a couple of my videos, and he's down. And I welcomed him, and Dan welcomed him, and Lucian welcomed him, and Tim is probably busy. We welcome everyone, and it's a this group is it's a free group, and we collaborate and share information and ideas. These guys, though, Tim, Dan, and Lucian, do offer. It's a contribution-based community, meaning if you go to their website, you can actually contribute to help these guys out. They gotta put the time to put the resources together. We actually have a Skype chat room where people can go in and people shoot off ideas, and these guys are trying to make it happen. They're trying to start a service without having to charge subscription fees, and try to build up a group that's big enough that they can make money off marketing as opposed to charging membership fees, which is, I think, really nice. I'm working on something. I may be doing something on my own at some point. I'm not sure. People keep asking me. I don't know. I gotta I just gotta figure things out over the next year. I got a business. I got a car dealership and a couple other things that I do. So my own, and I actually got a job. So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, where my niche is going. But with that being said, I do have my own Twitter that I appreciate everyone following and continuing to follow. And this is kind of weird for me personally because I'm very introverted. I don't like social media. I like my own Facebook page. I haven't posted in years. I only joined Facebook just to be part of the community. But I don't know, people seem to kind of like my teachings, and they seem to be making money. So I don't know. We'll see where this goes. God works in mysterious ways. Life works in mysterious ways. The universe has a way of kind of propelling you to certain things. With that being said, I also have a YouTube, watchotrade. All right, so this is my YouTube channel, and I never really promoted it. I really just would post my videos here, and then Lucian posts some here on the Bullish Bears website where you can see all my videos. So all the stuff that's that I pretty put on my own page, I link to Bullish Bears, so you can find them there, but you can also find on mine. And I think it's time that I start growing my page, so I'm going to start really focusing on this as well as Bullish Bears. Regardless of whatever happens in the future, I'm always going to be linked with them and helping these guys out. So so you'll still be able to get some free content, and then I don't know what I'm going to do long term, so I'm trying to figure all that out. But I just uploaded a video earlier on my 2 trades on CYC.
Up everybody, it's all.
And so far so good. 42 views. That's great. I think if people understood what I offered, and let me go back to my channel. So if you go here and make sure to subscribe. And these are like playlists. So everything you would find on the Bullish Bears channel. Sorry, go to videos. You would see here. And I think if people really understood, like, you go to guys like Tim Sykes and all these other guys in Foos, and if you really watch what I put and compare what I teach to what these guys teach, there's like no comparison. And I'm not knocking them because I watched them and I learned a lot of my strategy from those guys. They don't really give you a lot of real detailed information. I give you like real strategy, like a real simple strategy to work. I'm a teacher, I've been teaching for like 16 years. Um, in the IT community. I used to teach telecommunications, and I'm in healthcare. I've consulted. I traveled the country. So I got a background in teaching. I went to school for it and everything. So I think that's why people gravitate towards me, and it connects with me. People resonate with the things that I say. So I just put that out there to just say, subscribe, and as long as I see people are still interested, I'll continue to do this. Otherwise, I'll go back, into obscurity and just kind of make money in private. But people like it, and I seem to really enjoy it. So, and I like teaching. So we'll see where this goes. So with that said, let's build our watch list for the 30th, which is the next day the market's open, Tuesday. So again, this is what I do. So I look for stocks between 20 cents and $30. They're up 5%, with a minimum volume of 500,000 shares. I hit scan, you get 47 stocks. The reason why that you want to have liquid stocks, but if you put too liquid, like if let's say I had the volume at 1 million shares or 2 million shares, a lot of plays I might miss out. Because sometimes you want to find plays that haven't really, haven't really moved, but they're about to move. So you want to be in first so you can make some money. So that's why I have my criteria like this. So if you go to charts, I just start from the top and work my way down. So this first stock, MDXS, MXSG, I have no idea what happened with this, but I don't know. So Paul Wright CEO sells 110,000 shares. I don't know. Somebody sold a bunch of shares of this shit. I don't even know. It's a pump. It's nonsense. It's not going on the watch list. NIXD, this was a stock that was, had a nice move on Friday. Ripped really, really nice. And in my previous video, I kind of reviewed this play. I guess I could review it again really quickly. So, and also when I build my watch list, I always talk about like plays. What would I have done if I had seen the play? This stock, if you see over the last year, was, this thing was at 407 a year ago, and it's just collapsed because it's dog shit. It's companies' fundamentals suck, and everything sucks. But it's kind of, in this sort of upward trend now. If you notice here, and if you see, it was riding this upward trend, and it popped. It finally popped, and it hit a high of 128, came back down to nothing. Now, there must have been some news. So what you want to know about like dog shit companies is that when they have some sort of news, so I guess this is not sure, holdings or step down. So I guess there's some new CEO, and they had in the same quarter last year. So I guess it's an earnings winner. So when stocks have earnings winners, they can remove for multiple days. Now this stock obviously went crazy, and if you notice here's the market open. It went from red to green. So this is where it breaks above the previous day's close price. That's what this yellow line represents. And if you notice, it starts forming this ascending triangle, forming higher lows, and you got the pop. And that's what initially got. Let me just fix this to make this easier for you guys to see. I'll make it. Sorry guys. Let's go here. Let's go to appearance, and I'm gonna go fill up, hit apply, hit OK, and I'll do the same on the 5-minute chart here as well. Oops, wrong one. So let's go here, and let's go to appearance, fill up, hit apply, OK, and there we go. Okay, so what happens is the stock breaks out because people see this ascending wedge triangle forming, and it pops. Now you notice it's riding the 9 EMA. And you see, you got this trend here, so you can ride the trend. Remember, the trend is your friend. And as you go up, you see these like micro bull flags. So right here, this is a bull flag. You see, this is people just taking a little bit of profit, and there's still no volume here yet. There's still not a lot of volume yet. But you see, here's another bull flag, right? So what happens is the stock gaps up, it pulls back, and right here people enter. Gaps up, and this is sort of an indecision flag. The RSI is hot, so people are like kind of afraid because they're like, well, it's gonna pull back, but nobody knows when. But it kind of continues up, and then this forms this other bull flag. So you got this next entry, gaps up, and then it forms this other bull flag. So you got 3. Usually you get 2 bull flags, a last push, and then a reversal. This time you got 3. So you got one here, one here, one here. Technically, this is sort of a bull flag, I guess. but I don't know. These are real bull flags. So you got 1, 2, 3. So on the pullback of each bull flag, that's your next entry. So right here would have been your entry. Right here would have been your entry. Another gap up, pulls back. Right here would have been your entry. But you see, you got that last little push, and then you got a wash. You got a reversal. Now, had I been watching this, I probably would have thought, me personally, at this point, that this would have been the high day, and I'm not expecting it at this point to probably continue upward. If I saw it right at this moment, because it's $1 is a psychological resistance barrier. It broke above 110, so I'm thinking it's gonna give it back at some point. But you know, if you watch my shorting strategy, you know I like to short into the lower high and the pullback. So here's the higher day, pulls back, lower high right here, right? So let me so the lower high is right here, and this is where I would have shorted it, that 107 mark, and brought this back down. Now, once it broke below $1, it came all the way back down to a low of 88 cents. Now, I would have been thinking at this point that that's it. It's a finito, you know. But to my surprise, like, you know, this thing was formed a U-shaped pattern. So you see this U-shaped pattern? See how it bounces off the 20 EMA? People start buying here because they see the U-shape form and they know a U-shape usually means another breakout. Now, the technical breakout would have been here at that 110, because what happens at that point is that this stock will appear on everybody's higher day scanners, and they look at it and then they think about getting in. But at this point, the stock is so overextended that you gotta expect that it can't continue upward. What's keeping it going is that short sellers are getting squeezed, you know. And at this point, you get this doji, and at this point, it's high of day, and this here is another opportunity to short it. So right here, you know, you would have seen that it was high of day, and boom, it forms that lower high right here. So this is where I would have probably took the short. And if you notice, it touches it. You know, it never goes back to the high of day. It touches it. So that's like that double and triple top. And then this thing just washed all day, you know. And you had a lot of entries shorting this back down. So each lower high, let me remove this clear drawing set. So each lower high, and you look at this on the 1 minute time frame because it's a volatile stock. But if this is high of day, right? If this is high of day, right, and this is lower high right here, each lower high represents, so if it pulls back, gaps up here, that's another lower high, but it never breaks, so that's another entry. Takes it back down, gaps back up right here, another, actually, I'm sorry, breaks that down, gaps right here. Right here is the lower high. So this would have been another opportunity to enter, risking higher day. So each lower high, you're risking the previous lower high. Or the higher day is really up to you. You know, how much you want to risk. What's your risk tolerance, you know? But, you know, this thing, look at this. It gapped down again, came back up. Right here, another lower high. Right here. And, you know, you could have got in right here. You know, once it gapped up right there, risking higher day. And look, it came back up, touched, and it continued on its way down. So you could have just kept this all the way down. Now, the question is this going to stay on my watch list? Yes. Because, you know, it's an earnings winner, and sometimes these things can spike for multiple days. So it may be done, but we'll see. You don't lose anything by putting a stock on a watch list. You know what I mean? Like, all right, so you don't trade it. You know, there's nothing wrong with putting a stock on a watch list. All right. So next up, LINU, this thing ripped too. Look at this, same thing happened. So you get that sideways consolidation. People aren't paying attention to it. Now, nobody would have been paying attention to it because they got no volume. But this is that Foost 4 strategy. You notice it happened on NILD. The same thing happened where, you know, you're getting that ascending triangle formation happening where you get the pop, and you got it. Same thing here, LINU. You see, you got that sideways consolidation form, and boom, you get the pop. Now watch what happens. Stock gaps up to 25 cents, pulls back. Here's your bull flag, right? Here's the bull flag right here. It's the flag. So right here is your next entry. You know, pulls back, and then you get the next push. See, the reason why these stocks push is because traders see the pattern and they trade based on the pattern. It has zero to do with fundamentals. You know, this is what Sykes and Foost and none of these guys teach you. The only one that I think talks about this a little bit is Warrior Trading. You know, but nobody else really talks about this. I actually belong to Foost's chat room just because I wanted to see what it'd be like to join one. And you know, a lot of times he's making trades where he shouldn't make trades because he doesn't understand that, you know, you get the bull flag and you're gonna get another push, you know, and you know, so you get that. Let me back up a little bit, right? So just like I talk about my momentum strategy in God, right? You get the second push up, and then here's the other pullback, right? Second pullback, right? So it pulls back. That's a flag pattern. So people get in right here for that last push, but look at the doji and the reversal. Then it just completely washes. So, after that second bull flag, you got to be careful to get in because it's going to be a reversal. You get the doji. And look at my manual. My momentum trading manual that I put out to the group. If you watch it, all right, and when I talk about bull flags, look, there's no secret. Look, here's a bull flag pattern. I talk about it. Look at here. Gaps up, pulls back. So here's your entry. Gaps up, pull back. There's your second entry. Last push, reversal. Guys, this is you get it all the time. Here you go. Here's another stock, right? This is a little bull flag here. Gaps up, pulls back. Second push, gaps up, reversal. It's not, this is not rocket science. These patterns happen again and again and again and again. So, that's what happened. And then you get the reverse. Now, what I love to do is look, if I don't catch a stock, usually on the first pullback, I'll take a second crack at it for that second run. After the second, I usually don't. I'll wait for that reversal. And me, I'm like a sniper. I see the reversal coming, just like I teach in that manual. What did I do with the manual? Let's put it back up I also have, talk about shorting, right? So, when, let's look at a stock. So here's the doji, here's one, right? Shorting stocks that go parabolic. Here's the parabolic move, right? Look at this. Gap up, pull back, right? That's a bull flag. First entry. Gap up, pull back. Right here, that's the second entry. Last push, look at the doji. High, right? Higher day, bounce, lower high. Take it short, drive it down, risking higher day. Guys, you do this again and again and again. So, see? First, gap up, pull back, gap up. Last push. Right here, right? You see that doji. Makes it nice and easy for the reversal. And then boom, look, the second candle goes up, bounces up. This is the lower high. So this is your confirmation that it's done, though, right? It's over. And you just take it short somewhere in here, risking higher day, and just wash. Now, the problem is with these kind of companies that are cheap, 35 cents or whatever, if you got TD Ameritrade as your brokerage, you're not going to be able to get shares to short. Fidelity, all those guys, they're not going to find shares to short. You're going to need like a brokerage like Interactive Brokers, E-Trade sometimes, but either Interactive Brokers, Speed Trader, or Centerpoint. Or, a lot of people ask me about Short Trader, and you can go to Short Trader, but, the fees are high. Me personally, they're in the Bahamas, man. You don't know what they're going to do with your money. I mean, they've been there a long time, but if let's put it this way, if you put your money in there, and for whatever reason that shop happened to close, you're not going to get your money back. They're not regulated in the United States, so there's no way to sue them. There's no way to get your money back. So me personally, if I was to open an account with Short Trader, I wouldn't invest more than $5,000 in it. Me personally, because I don't know what's gonna happen. But a lot of people trade them and they say they're fine. I don't know. So that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, you can always go to Short Trader too. But I would go to IB, Interactive Brokers. If you're 25 and under, they'll allow you to open an account with $3,000. If you're 25 and older, you need $10,000 minimum. I'm about to open and then if you want the big boy, the one I'm about to join is Centerpoint. So Centerpoint is really great for locates for shorting, and that's what I'm gonna be joining soon. So all right, so LIU. Now, is this gonna be on my watch list? I doubt it. It looks like it had its run. This was probably a manipulation, so no. AEZS. I'm sorry. Yeah, had a nice move up to 121. Found its support, seems to have found support level here at 104, and it held its highs at 119. Yeah, so we'll see what it does. Now, what you should do is, look at, sorry guys, what you should be doing is looking at what the stock, AEZS, what it's done over the last, maybe 10 days. I like to look at the yearly, just see where it is. And look, this stock, look at this thing collapsed from 3 all the way down to 7 cents. Now, this is the thing that should pique your interest. You say, okay, well, look, the high is 122. On this day, it hit a high of 150. It closed at 130, 135, right? So you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, I'm going to keep this on watch for a while, because if this stock, for whatever reason, gaps up and breaks that 150, there is no resistance for the stock all up to $3. So maybe it continues up. We'll see, So that's a stock that you should continue to watch over the next several days. All right, next up, ZPass. This is garbage basura stock that's being pumped. Now look what I said. I put this on Twitter. I didn't put this on my on the Facebook room. Watch. I don't I'm no fortune teller, but look what I said. I said let's start back. So look at the date, May 24th. I said get ready for the monster collapse and shorting opportunity on Z-Pass, then dip buy. These patterns repeat themselves, right? And I gotta give it to Tim Sykes. I learned this from Tim Sykes, to be quite honest with you. So I give credit where credit is due. He's right about this. So this was the 24th, right? Look what happened on the 25th. Look at my post from yesterday on Z-Pass and look at what happened today. These patterns are predictable. So look what happened. It collapsed just like I predicted. So let's look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart here. Look what happened. So this is the day I posted this, right? And look, it opened. It went up to 309. And it closed at like what is it? It closed at like 29. Closed at what? 304. Next day, stock market opened 29th, right? It has this range. It gets a high of 308, and boom, the collapse ensues. Look at this collapse. It found its support all the way at around like 267, and then you got the dojis that were into reversal, and then look, the thing, you could have dipped with this and rolled this up. All right, and then you could have rolled this up to about 290, but then it collapsed again. Boom, all the way to 211, and now it's coming back up again. And you watch, this thing is gonna find its way back up to $3, and you're gonna be able to short it again. So hell yeah, it's gonna go on the watch list. You know, it's predictable. If you once you start seeing these stocks, you're gonna see the same things happen again and again. I mean, you know, it's dog shit. You know, it's not super volatile, but volatile enough where you can make a trade on it. CYTR is absolutely going to be on the watch list. You know, this is the stock I shorted, and I would have longed had I been paying attention. ADAD, no, dog shit. ZENS, no. Now the reason why I'm saying, like, look at it. The reason why, because it's not, even though it says 2 million volume. Look at this. This is crap. Like, you don't know when to take a trade. Probably like 10 people traded this, and that made up the 2 million shares. So no, it's not liquid enough. You don't know what this is going to do. SCNS had a nice move at the open from 140 to, and it went all the way to 170. Very choppy, but if you look at it, you know, right here you got this nice entry. You got the pullback. This is the bull flag here, you know, and then you got that nice little push up. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list. It was 126. It's up 177. I mean, you could look at it over the year and see where it is. I mean, it's, you know, it was at $4 and has its next resistance point right here, 175. It's actually above 170. 175, so it's above it. I don't like it. Not for a momentum play. But you may want to trade it. CRS, yeah, this stock that held its highs. It went from 193, it went from red to green. I mean, green to red. It broke below the previous day's close price, which is a short seller's, you know, confirmation to get in. But it found its support at 193, and look at this. When stocks have these panics, you can dip buy them. So when you see the momentum trade changing, you can buy a dip, and these are one of the patterns that I talk about in my momentum trading guide. So dip buying. So you see when a stock, this is the panic. This is ENO. This was on what day was this? April 11th. You see how it collapsed and then it finds a support, and then you can buy a dip. You don't know how high it's gonna go, but you can buy a dip, risking support. And that's why dip buying is great, especially for people with small accounts and not really sure how to trade. You just find the dips, find stocks that are collapsing in the morning. Look to see for that trend reversal. You gotta be very patient and watch the stock, and then you buy the dip, risking the low of the support, you know, where support is, and then just ride it back up. You know, you obviously want to catch it as close to support as possible. Like if the stock's already at 211, you know, you don't know what it's gonna do, so that's too far extended. But if you see it somewhere between 193 and maybe, you know, $2, you may, you know, if your risk tolerance, you could risk 10 cents, 12 cents, 13 cents. You might want to take it, because once it goes above VWAP, that's a good confirmation to ride the wave and risk VWAP at that point, you know. But you know, the thing's up. It's on an upward trend now. So let's see. We'll put it on the watch list. All right. And when a stock is like this choppy, you definitely want to look at a longer time frame to get a better sense of what the stock is going to do. So here's the 5-minute time frame. You see, once it broke above VWAP on the 5-minute, look on the 5-minute. It rides the 13 EMA the entire way. Never dips below it. So it would have been a nice safe play once you're looking at. So you got to make sure that less volume equals bigger time frames, all right, to get a better sense of the stock. Next up, APPN. APPN, went from $13 all the way to 18 in the last 5 days. Oh, this stock is new. APPN must be a new listed stock because it doesn't have a lot of history. If we look at the yearly, I think it's just it's a new stock. So you know what? Let's watch it. Look at the fundamentals. Maybe the stock is worth something. It means something. I don't know. I haven't researched it, but maybe it's worth investing in. Next up, EVLV. Nope. ARGS. Nice little momentum push, and then came back down. Nah, I'm not gonna put on my watch list. AFSI. AFSI. Nah. ZSAN. Nah, too choppy. I don't know what it's gonna do. Not good for momentum. Maybe a swing. Who knows? CLNT. Sometimes it moves with $3. It's at 5. It totally collapsed. Sometimes when you get these big collapses like this, sometimes the next day they run up again. I don't know what moved this, but if you look at the yearly, right? Last time it had a big spike, it had a red day following. Red day. Last time it had two green days, a bunch of red days. So you see, it doesn't tend to hold its high. So it might be a good short come Monday. I'm not gonna put on the watch list, but might collapse. MGRF, no. NTNX, no. GLBS, nah. WBAI, not very liquid, but it did have a big move from 890 to 996. So just because of that, I'll watch it. Doesn't mean I'm going to trade it. Just put it on the watch list. It's a stock that had a nice move. So why not? What do you risk? It's above VWAP. You can look at the yearly. You can see, look at this. It's got, look at this collapse. You got all this to make up. So why not? Maybe it continues up. Maybe it's a good swing trade. So you just take a look, do more research. AMPH, nice move at the open. Look at this. It ripped all the way up. When a stock's like this, you don't want to chase it because you don't know what it's going to do. And if you do decide to chase it, remember, let's say you got in here because you just felt like you wanted to take a chance, which I don't recommend, just make sure you have a trend line to that. As long as the stock doesn't break the trend, you're in. So let's say you got in here, 1635. I'm just making a random arbitrary number, right? Think risking, hey, psychological resistance barriers. Whole numbers are psychological resistance barriers. So I'm going to take this from 1635, looking to make 1650. I'm just making this up, right? You put your trend line and you stay in as long as it rides the trend, and you see it broke $17, which is a psychological resistance barrier, and it pulls back all the way down to VWAP to 1628, and you could have took an entry once it went above VWAP and just kind of rolled this up. But when a stock just spikes like that, and it kind of rolled all the way up, but I'm not chasing. What I'm doing is looking for the reverse. So me personally, I might have, if I was gonna trade this, I might have said, okay, let's see what happens. So here's the high of day at this point, right? It comes all the way down to 1622, comes all the way back up to 1689. Right here is probably where I would have shorted it, and then risking the high of 1702. And you see, it got all the way back down to 1649, and then came all the way back up and touched the high of day and came all the way back down. And I probably would have covered some minutes because I would have been like, this is too wild. But that's what I like to do. I like to short. It's much easier. But this thing went all the way up to 1736 and then came back down. So I'll put it on the watch list. MPH. And I'm sorry, I hope this is not too long and I'm not boring you. But I'm just trying to teach you guys entry and exits. Where am I? I went over all this, right? It's where FNCH, nope. CAL, this thing moved, but not liquid. BDSI. CBay, LFG/B, WB, INFI, 3 million shares. This thing had a nice move. Opened up at 9, went up to 1038, came down, found its support, and here. And remember, when the stock sells off, you're gonna get a bounce. So here it was the bounce, and it went up above VWAP for a second, but it was sort of, but it's too choppy. Like I don't know if I would have stood in here. Maybe if I got in, I'm saying, okay, as long as it doesn't, let me make this easier on the eye. Let's remove the drawing. So this is how you look at this if you decide to get into something like this, right? So you're like, okay, here's his new support level, right? 1006. Look what happens. So let's say you get in because you want to buy the dip because you see the sell-off, right? So you buy the dip at 1006 and you're like, okay, you're in, right? And it gets all the way up to like 1021. And it's like, you're to above VWAP. Maybe it's going to continue up. You're not sure. But it pulls back, but it forms this higher low right here, you see? So you notice that it's forming a higher low. So you know you still feel a little comfortable, and then it goes back up to 1023, and then it completely goes back. So you're like, shit, I got in at 1007, I should sell. Let me see, but look what happens. It bounces off 1006. Now that's a double bottom. That is a bullish sign, and look, it just runs. You know, and people stood in probably noticing that because it's, you know, they see the double bottom here, and they see the pattern, and it just continues up, and you know got all the way up to like 1030, what, 1034. Yeah, so it's up. So in INFI I've traded this several times. It is a volatile stock, so we'll keep it on the watch list. All right, RYAM is another stock that, yeah, look at this. I think I was talking about this earlier, how this is one of those patterns that I like to trade, where a stock finds its range, right? So it opens, it goes up to 1569, comes down, forms the higher low, hits the high at 1569, comes down, hits its support level, and then starts gapping up. And when you see it break above VWAP, if you had captured it, you could use VWAP as your support stop loss, and then just ride the wave, and this thing came all the way up. You know, that's that VWAP midday bounce play that I like to trade. And I see it happen all the time, whether it's, you know, the market could be down 100 points and you still see that happen. MEIP, nah. TELL. TEL, I've traded this several times. This stock is very volatile. It's, you know, not very liquid right now, but you know, it's moving. You know, it's had 4 green days. You know, so you gotta expect it's gonna pull back. Last time it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green days before it pulled back. So, you know, it was about 1192. It's at, you know what? So I'll put on the watch list. Maybe you may want to take a small position and swing it. See what happens. All right. So let's keep moving. CO is, let's go back to the daily, 2 day 1 minute. Yeah, this is too choppy. You know, it had 1.4 million shares, but I bet you not a lot of people traded it. I'm not, you know, it was $7, you know, so it could be a good swing trade, but I'm not gonna put on my watch list. OCLU, yeah, is a stock that I've traded several times, and you know, you see it, you know, it's too choppy. It's so hard to trade, but on the 5 minute, it's a lot cleaner. The entries are a lot cleaner, so sometimes you gotta look. It gaps up. This is a bull flag sort of, but you know, it bounces kind of for a second there, goes below the 13 EMA, and it gaps up, and then you see the bull flag here, so it pulls back, and you know, you get this indecision with the stock, not sure what it's gonna do. It goes up, and it bounces off the 13 EMA, and it just continues on, forming all these flags. You normally don't think it's gonna keep going and going and going, but it never really breaks below the 13 EMA. Here's another entry here, another entry here, and then look, you get the higher day, and it's probably shorts getting squeezed, and then you get that lower high. So here's the higher day, right? You get the lower high, and then right here, had I seen this and I see the selling pressure coming in and the momentum shifting, I would have took a short, risking higher day, and this thing came all the way down to 1055, came up. Yeah, it's very volatile. I've traded this stock several times before. I'll put it on the watch list. Just be careful, because you know, you don't know what it's gonna do. OCLR, and we're almost done with this. So mankind had a nice big move. It's been moving again. You know, look at this. It has this gap up, and this is the flat top breakout. So when you see that sideways consolidation like that, you know there's gonna be a push, and here it goes. And it rides up the 9 EMA the whole time, all the way to 168. And look, it came all the way down to 157, came all the way back up to 166. You know, with the high and it's the low, formed that lower high. This is where, somewhere here, would have took my short entry. But you know, we'll put it on the watch list because it continues to be volatile. MKD, and let's go RADA. Nope. CIBO. Nah, I like too choppy. WOW. You know, went to $16 to $18, bounced off VWAP and closed out. Let's see where it's been over the last. This must be a new stock or something. Yeah, it's a brand new company. Look at the fundamentals and see. I'll put on the watch list just because it's new. Maybe you might want to take a look more, a closer look at it. CFLO, and it's choppy all the way up to 1102, holding its highs now. XCO, no. AMC, look at that, man. You know, it's up. Went from broke here, went from red to green, and then ripped all the way to 25 bucks. Kind of pulled back. Might be, you know, might pull back some more on Tuesday. We'll see. But you know, and sometimes you go, well, Omar, this stock's expensive. Like, I only got $5 grand in my account. Let's say that's true. So you take 100 shares. Look at the move. You make a couple of $100. Don't be afraid to trade the higher price stocks just because you can only get 100 shares. Trade them. If you got to move and it's gonna go in your direction, you make $50, $100. Take that and run. Who cares? A win's a win. SBLK. This thing kind of moved. It's choppy. I don't like it. I'm not gonna put my watch. CRT Court. Yes, I traded this several times. This stock can be very volatile. It's up close to that 1240 range, and look what happened last time it hit that. It's a tremendous shorting opportunity. It's at its highs, all-time highs. Put it on the watch list. We'll see what happens. It'll probably be a great short Tuesday. We'll see. Let's see. VCEL. Nope. MTDR. VDEL. Nope. And that's it. Those are the stocks that were on my scanner. Again, I have this. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Where is it? New high scan that I mess around with, and these stocks will not pull up on my watch list because they fall below the 5% criteria. But sometimes I will look at them to see, like BIOC, NAK. I'm looking. These will not appear on my scan, but doesn't mean I wouldn't trade them. I would look at them, like SQNS. Not a lot, not volatile, but it's upward. SORL. Yeah, that's going to be on the watch list. You see, we fell below 5%, but it should be on the watch list. It's been very volatile. IMAX. You see, it's all in that 4% criteria. You can look at stocks JAG. That had a nice move from 12 to 1396, holding its highs. So you can find other stocks. You can look for stocks that are. Look at this. This is the kind of pattern I love to trade, CGI, but it's not very liquid. But it's kind of choppy. But I just say that to tell you that you can find other stocks that below. Just because a stock finished up at 1% or 3% doesn't mean that it's not a good stock to put on your watch list if it's not holding its highs. Because that's why I look for stocks that hold their highs into the close or close to their highs. Because my expectation is that they're going to be volatile the next day. So I'm just looking at stocks. All right. Or a stock, that had just spiked. It was a huge percentage gainer and had a move. Even if it pulled back, sometimes those stocks spike for multiple days. So these are the stocks that are on my watch list. I'll post them to my Twitter and all that just so you guys can see it. See people say I do this and they don't get a chance to look at the watch list. But again, I put it on Twitter. Join Bullish Bears. You'll see them there. These are the stocks that I'm put on that are on the watch list for Tuesday. All right, and I'll review this again one more time. So I may modify this a bit more. All right, so hope you enjoy your Sunday. Hope you found this helpful. Have a great one.